Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple-Haired Doofus, and welcome back to Bad Unicorn by Platt F. Clark. Today we're covering chapters 6, 7, 8, and 9. I hope you've read up to that point because I do not want to ruin anything for you. Chapter 6 starts with two men in the rain, and they are new characters. One of them isn't even named, the other one is named Opsicar? Hold on, I'm checking. Haha, I was right. But these two men are in the rain and they're talking about how magic is slowly seeping into the Earthlings' realm. It must be because someone is using the Codex of Infinite Knowability. And we know now that it's Max. Max is using the Codex because he tried to use it for his book report. Then we get shuffled off to what I thought was an arcade last video, but it's a comic book / tabletop RPG shop. Max, Dirk, and Sarah go in. Sarah feels instantly uncomfortable because of the owner. The owner is the stereotypical comic book shop owner who believes that women are only there because their boyfriends drag them to the place. He instantly makes her feel unwelcome. And he instantly makes Max and Dirk feel unwelcome when they're asking about a card. If you don't have enough money, I'm not going to tell you how much it is. He's not a very likable character. Did I also mention that he's very short? And this man's name is Dwight. The whole reason that Max and Dirk are there is because they want to show off the Codex of Infinite Knowability. And so they show it to Dwight. And he instantly gets defensive. He actually pulls out a dagger and says, "Close the book, drop the book, leave it on the counter." And they do. As Max is closing the book, he has a hallucination of a sacrifice. In the middle of the sacrifice is a pregnant woman. It's just very 1980s, like men in robes, blah. And then it kind of white wipes and flashes a bright white light and the chapter ends. Hey, Resimor here, and I'm just going about my errands for the day, and I'm riding in my zombie duck cart. Zombie duck. And it's got to be the most hilarious vehicle Elliot's ever heard of. And it's just adorable and gross at the same time. It's kind of amazing. And I'm going along my ways because I have to meet up with my goblin lawyer, who, once I walk through the door, instantly puts me on paid time. And I say, "Hey, you asked me here." And he says, "Well, we need to know that Princess is on the right path. Did you send her this way, or this way?" And I tell them I sent them that way. And he says, "What if this happens?" And I just kind of break down the way that Princess is going to go after the Codex of Infinite Knowability. Eventually he leaves satisfied and overturns the clock so that I'm no longer on paid time. Max, Sarah, Dirk, and Dwight wake up from that white blinding flash that I personally thought that only Max had experienced, but I guess everyone had. And when they wake up, they see that they are in a place of rubble. No one around. It's just dirt piles everywhere, concrete piles everywhere. Dirk actually looks up and he says, "Look, someone turned the moon into a cheeseburger." And I guess the moon looks like a cheeseburger now. They're looking around the rubble and they see that everything is exactly what was in Dwight's shop before the flash, and everything looks really old. We find out that Dwight isn't just a little person. Dwight is actually a dwarf from the realm that Princess is from. And Dwight is still holding his dagger. He is still just saying, "Drop the book." And the dagger talks. Yeah, the dagger is talking as Dwight is brandishing it around. Dirk, Sarah, and Dwight actually start to assume that Max is a wizard of some kind, and he accidentally transported them into the future, which is bizarre, right?
right? Dwight concedes and he actually hands over the dagger to Max. Max takes it and it introduces itself as Glenn. Eventually, the group find out that they were transported so far into the future that it's practically a dystopian future. They are still standing exactly where they were, only years and years and years in the future, probably centuries in the future. So they decide to set up a makeshift camp. Max tries to comfort Sarah, who is saying, "This is all a bad dream. I'm just going to wake up and know that none of this ever happened." Max tries to comfort her, but he doesn't know how to talk around her, so he's very awkward, and he just kind of says, "I have to go to the bathroom!" Well, Sarah laughs, but he actually runs away to go to the bathroom. When he comes back from his trip, he finds everyone is asleep and decides that he's going to make a pillow out of his backpack and the codex. Only the codex is missing, and he looks around and he sees that a dog-sized spider is dragging away the codex, and he follows the spider. It takes him to a pile of concrete, and he's thinking, I don't want to attack this spider right now. I know where it's staying, so I can just wake up the guys in the morning and we can come back here for the codex. He also finds that the spider is a mechanoid. It's not actually a spider, it's a robot spider. Beep boop, beep boop. And he turns around from following it and he starts going back into the brush and he comes across some glowing berries and he's like, "Oh, I haven't eaten all day. This is fantastic." And as he gets closer and closer to the berries, he's noticing that the berries are starting to move. And he notices that they aren't really berries. And he notices that they're actually glowing red eyes of other tiny mechanical spiders. And they're starting to chase him. And And so he runs to the concrete pile. And that's where our section ends. The question that I have for you today is, what is the creepiest thing that you can think of finding in the darkness, whether it's baby spiders, actual spiders, or something else? Question that I had yesterday is, if I had a portal, where would it take me? And for me, I'm not much of a fantasy fan. I don't usually dive into otherworldly fantasies. For me, I would have a portal that would actually, this might be a little bit meta, it would actually take me into the video game Portal, because I love that video game, and I love the mechanics of having a gun that can transport you anywhere you shoot it. That sounds amazing and awesome. Do not forget that the next book that I will be reading takes a bit of parental advisory. It is The Gunslinger by Stephen King. It's the first in his fantasy Dark Tower series. Go out and grab it by any legal means necessary. Borrow it from a friend, borrow it from a library, buy it at a bookstore, buy it on a Kindle. I don't care what you do as long as it's legal and you read it before I ruin it for you. I've been Elliot the Purple Haired Doofus, reminding you to watch the Ephemeris, and I will see you all in the next chapters of Bad Unicorn by Platt F. Clark. Toodles!